we need to be very humanitarian. We need to help. We need to bring people. We need to go there. And okay, we did.
Right.
But Sweden is no more Sweden.
So
Germany is no more Germany. The most common name given in Belgium is not Frank or something. It's Mohammed. And I'm not anti-Muslim. I'm not racist. I'm not xenophobic. I am just a person who lives in Europe, was born here. I'm a Slav. I'm Christian.
Karolina, I love the outfit today.
Thank you. Do you like my
Yes.
army attire?
I think I like you more in this style.
It's funny because people don't know that on a daily basis, I don't dress up. And some of the people are like, who is this girl wearing this red bottoms and stuff like this? Well, I love to dress up because on a daily basis, I'm super normal and reporter kind of a person. So that I decided let's do it and let's show you all.
Exactly. So my first question or my first topic of the day about the ever-growing immigration topic in Poland. We get a lot of comments saying, well, you guys are doing a wonderful job about Poland, everything, but soon Donald Tusk will import immigrants and they will destroy Poland. So dramatic. What do you have to say about that?
Man, this topic is a serious one. I've done a few shows about it. And I'm so emotional while talking, even discussing this, because the Migration Pact is a piece of legislation that was adopted last year by European Parliament and then European Commission. The negotiations took 3 years, and everybody who's really caring about the faith and future of Europe was screaming out loud, stop. Well, this law, which will start to come into force anytime soon, will relocate migrants by force to countries like Poland, even though Poland stand a veto on it. You mentioned Donald Tusk. He said no. Hungary said no. Slovakia said no. But European Commission doesn't care. They are forcing us against all the treaties of European Union to accept illegal migrants who are coming. Illegal migrants, because they are coming to our borders. Do you know that each and every year there is from 300 to 380,000 people knocking Europe's door? And they are getting into the hotspots, Greece, Spain, Italy. Now they will go all into this system, and the European clerks and European Commission, by its own rules, will be sending them to countries like Poland. 30,000 migrants each year. If you don't want to accept them, then you got to pay. You know how much for each and every illegal migrant? 20,000 euro.
Whoa.
And Donald Tusk said, hey guys, we're not accepting them because we are the country under pressure. Are we different than Spain or Greece? No, we're not, because look at the Belarusian border.
Right.
But the European Commission doesn't care. They said, you are going to accept them anyways. And it's not about Donald Tusk. It's not about Polish government. It's about what has been thrown on us. We are going to be invaded. And we were doing this show to promote smart migration and migration where people come to the country and work, pay taxes, are good citizen. Now we are going to be wiped out. You know what one of the experts, what he told me? That we are going to be like Indians back in the day in America when they were put into those reservates. This is serious. I don't know when this will start, but they will be sent to Poland.
Why is that? So where do you think this is coming from?
I'm not able to answer this question in 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, try. Give it a try at least.
Well, you got to go back to 2001. There was this act of the Council of European Union. Poland was not in the European Union back then. 2001 Göteborg document. They stated that, yes, Europe is getting older. So we got to import some new stuff and we have to promote, aging with grace and extending the workforce. So the philosophy of importing mass migration is an answer for the Europe, for the problems, because there is not enough kids. There is not enough, the system is not secured enough. So the easiest way is to import people. But the thing is, how many times we said, you invite to your home only true friends.
Correct.
No, they will invite, I don't want to say it, but most of the time, enemies.
What is I'm trying to generally understand here, right? Because I've seen this recently that the European Commission said we are so grateful for the effort that Poland did welcoming the Ukrainians, 2 million Ukrainians.
They don't care. Are you kidding me? They don't care.
And that they will take it into consideration.
No, they will not.
Right?
Because they are white and they are working force.
So what I'm trying to say is, if these people are coming from, now it's it's weird coming out of my mouth. Let's say people come from North Africa or the Middle East, right? They say, okay, these people are looking for a life or to improve the quality of their life, and they come to Europe, right? So why?
Have you ever been to hotspot?
No, I haven't.
I've been to migration camp.
All right, tell me about it.
Do you want to know the truth about those people?
Yes, this is a
Well, some of them really need help. 90% young people. I felt so unsecured there. How come the best workforce flee the countries that need? Do you think Morocco don't need young people? I think Morocco needs those people, right?
Yes.
Do you think that Libya doesn't need young force? They need. But somehow they will lose them and they will come here. And I consider you as a coconut because you're brown outside and you're white inside because you're an open-minded person. There's a lot of migrants who are open-minded. But do you believe that majority is like this? You know those guys. You lived in Berlin. You've seen France, Paris. Do you believe they're open-minded? Do you think they want to work and pay taxes? Be honest. Now, Kamal, it's your turn.
So the way I see it is this. I was talking with Wes recently about that. Like, people on survival mode, it's not about their open-mindedness or closed-mindedness, if I may. Because these people who are often uneducated, they are all the time on survival mode. And what it means to be on survival mode, imagine a hungry lion going for weeks without eating. When he will see a prey, he's not going to joke around and court the prey. He's just going to attack and eat because he's hungry and he doesn't control his animalistic instinct. So these people, and to me, it really doesn't mean that it's about religion or race. It's about being a human, a bad human being.
Okay, you're very right. So now, I mentioned I've been to the hotspot.
Right.
How would you explain to me that the very first moment when these people arrive to Europe, they are treated like animals? They have internal fights out there. They are being served rotten food. They're being fed poison water. They are living in tents. And now they spend their months, if not years, and it's exactly how you say. They came with the dreams maybe in their head.
Right.
But they end up as animals.
Right. And it's very unfortunate because, again, it really takes away from, let's say, the normal migrants, the legal ones. Because the ones that are here, that come here legally and want to work and want to pay taxes and all that, it really takes away from them because, like, hey, man, I had to go through all these troubles, and then you have some random guy walking in the streets and getting benefits from the government. It does not make any sense, right?
It's not about if he's getting any money from government. It's about why was he imported here?
In the first place.
What
That's
was
correct.
behind the reason that Christianity and our culture, which is based on Christianity, which is based on, human kindness is now being replicated and replaced by the newcomers?
Right.
That's the crucial question. I'm asking this, I might sound very serious and maybe not pleasant, but I'm just asking this question: why someone knocks my door and wanted to exchange everything that is inside? Why? What is behind the reason? Because I don't believe anymore that it's just being a good Christian. Well, for years we were taught, we need to be very humanitarian. We need to help. We need to bring people. We need to go there. And okay, we did.
Right.
But Sweden is no more Sweden.
So
Germany is no more Germany. The most common name given in Belgium is not Frank or something. It's Mohammed. And I'm not anti-Muslim. I'm not racist. I'm not xenophobic. I am just a person who lives in Europe, was born here. I'm a Slav. I'm Christian. And someone is knocking my door, coming here and kicking all of that I know and replacing this with something that is so dramatically different. And I am afraid. Yes, I am afraid, because I'm also a woman and I've traveled the world and I love Muslim people. But when they're there, it's all nice and steady. When they come here, it's hard for them to follow the European rules. Colonialism proved that you cannot install democracy in the countries that was never democratic. And they were by far, by nature, designed a totally different. Democracy is a relatively new concept. Respecting each other, liberal laws, it's a very new concept. Meantime, humanity stands for hundreds, thousands of years. And most of the time, it was by war, by force, and by instincts. So how can you implement democracy in the country that never ever remembers democracy in their history? How do you want to do it? By saying, can you please follow the law? Because now we are in Europe and you got to follow the law. Now you have to respect women. Now you have to be a good citizen. Now you got to pay taxes. Kamal, do you know how much taxes you pay in Morocco?
Like now, or?
I will tell you, you pay almost nothing. And if you don't work and then you're an elderly person, you will get nothing. That's why you have a lot of kids, because your kids are your pension. In Europe, we worked by paying the taxes. We worked by paying our security system and like the healthcare. It doesn't exist out there in the global south. It doesn't exist. In Thailand, if you want to have money, then you got to get the money. Country doesn't want anything from you, but doesn't give anything instead. So the concept of European social countries is by far an absolute abstract.